Welcome to a new crochet tutorial. This week it's a simple lace edging worked with 100% mercerized cotton yarn, category 2, and a crochet hook size D 3.25 millimeters. Specifically, I used Yarn Art Begonia. This is my favorite mercerized cotton yarn, and it comes in a huge variety of beautiful colors. The written pattern will be available in my Etsy and Ravelry shops, and a huge thank you to those of you who purchase my patterns. I greatly appreciate your support. The starting chain must be a multiple of 10 plus 8, and for my sample I will start with 38 chains. Here I have 38 chains and I'm ready to start the first row. Into the fourth chain from the hook I will make a double crochet. We never count the chain on the hook, we always start counting from the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and over here I make a double crochet. And now I'm going to make a double crochet into each chain across. So all I'm doing in this row is working a double crochet into each chain. I finished the first row and here I have 36 double crochets. I turn my work and I start the next row with a beginning double crochet. If you're not comfortable making a beginning double crochet, you can substitute it with 3 chains. Next, 1 chain, and I skip the next double crochet, and into the next one I make a double crochet. Now again, 1 chain, I skip the next double crochet, and into the next one I make a double crochet. And that's all I'm gonna do in this row. 1 chain, skip 1 double crochet and a double crochet into the next double crochet. And I'm going to continue crocheting this way all the way across. At the end of the row, after I made the last double crochet, there is actually 1 more stitch left. This is turning chain, but we count it as a double crochet. And into the top chain I also make a double crochet. So at the end of the row I'm gonna have 2 double crochets next to each other, and that happens because in the previous row I had an even amount of stitches. Now I turn my work and I start the next row with a beginning double crochet. And this row is going to be a row of double crochets again. Into the next double crochet I make a double crochet, and into the next chain I also make a double crochet. And in this row I will work a double crochet into each double crochet and into each chain. So when I work a double crochet into the chain, I insert the hook directly into the chain, but if you prefer, you can work it into the chain 1 space. And that's what I'm gonna do in this row. I'm just gonna make another row of double crochets. I finished row number 3. It's a row of double crochets. I turn my work and I start the next row with 1 chain. Now into the very first double crochet I work a single crochet. Next, 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I skip 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next one I work a single crochet. So in this row I will be making chain 5 loops and single crochets. So again, 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I skip 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next one I make a single crochet. And again, 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next one a single crochet. and I'm gonna continue crocheting like this all the way across. I crocheted all the way across and I finished with a single crochet into the last double crochet. I turn my work and I start the next row with 7 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 of these 7 chains will count as the first treble and 3 chains will count as chain 3 space. Now into the next chain 5 space I make a single crochet. Now I will be working trebles into the next chain 5 space. I will make 7 trebles and in between them I will make 1 chain. So I start with 1 chain and then into the chain 5 space I work a treble. Now again 1 chain and a treble. 1 chain and a treble, and I continue until I have 7 trebles in total. That's 5, 6, and 7. So here I have 7 trebles worked into chain 5 space, and in between them there is 1 chain. Next 1 chain, and into the next chain 5 space I work a single crochet. Now again into the next chain 5 space I will work the same shell made of 7 trebles, and in between them 1 chain. So I start with 1 chain and then a treble, 1 chain and a treble, 1 chain and a treble, and so on until I have 7 trebles in total. There I have 7 trebles, now 1 chain and a single crochet into the next chain 5 space, and again into the next chain 5 space. Right here I will work the same kind of shell made of 7 trebles separated by 1 chain. Here I worked another shell made of 7 trebles. Into the next chain 5 space I work a single crochet, and to finish this row I make 3 chains, and into the last single crochet I make a treble. So this row is finished. I turn my work and I start the next row with 1 chain, and into the first treble I make a single crochet. I'm going to skip the first treble of the next group of 7 trebles, and into the next one I work a treble. Now 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, I make a slip stitch, and that creates a picot. Next 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the next treble I work a treble again. Now again 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the 4th chain from the hook a slip stitch. That creates a picot. 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the next treble a treble again. And I repeat the same thing. 5 chains, and a slip stitch into the fourth chain from the hook, 2 chains, and a treble into the next treble. Again, 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a slip stitch into the fourth chain from the hook, 2 chains, and a treble into the next treble. So I skipped the first treble of this shell, and I'm going to leave the last treble of this shell unworked. Now I continue working over this shell. I skip the first treble, and into the next one or the second one I make a treble. And now I'm gonna do the same thing as over here. 5 chains and a slip stitch into the fourth chain from the hook, 2 chains, 1, 2, and a treble into the next treble, 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a slip stitch into the fourth chain from the hook, then 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the next treble, a treble again. And that's how I continue crocheting. And again, the last treble of this group of 7 trebles I leave unworked, and now I'm gonna work over the last shell. I skip the first treble, and into the second one I make a treble. And again, the same thing again. 5 chains, a slip stitch into the fourth chain, then 2 chains, and a treble into the next treble. And I'm going to finish this last shell in the same way. And here I worked a treble into the second to last treble of this last shell. And to finish this row, I will make a single crochet into the fourth chain, counting from the bottom of these 7 turning chains. So this row is now finished, and I can fasten off, and that's how this edging is worked.